Hello there and welcome to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I use Lusha to find cold contacts. Now, Lusha is a very popular platform or a database platform that helps you find contact details of the people that you want to get in touch with. And it is mainly used by B2B platforms or B2B businesses across the globe. Now, there are other platforms as well, such as Apollo, ZoomInfo, Cognizant. But for this particular video, I'm going to use Lusha. And pretty much in this, the concept that I'm sharing in Lusha can be applied in other platforms as well, because most of them have a very similar, I will say, user interface, right? So let's get started. All right, so first thing first, when you enter Lusha, you will come to this section called prospecting. And in prospecting, you have two ways to filter and find contacts. First one is either you find directly using, contacts filtration, or you go to the company's filtration and try to do that way. Now, in my case, what I do is that first of all, I need to select the companies. Now, for me, it is really important that I only select those companies that meet my ICP. And sometimes when you're searching in Lusha using the filtration, the data is only 80% accurate or sometimes even below that. For example, if I search for, let's say, a company in United Kingdom, right? So I'm going to include this, sorry, not United States, but United Kingdom. All right, yeah, United Kingdom. And then the next thing that I want to do is that I want to go and choose the industry, let's say law firms in United Kingdom, right? And my ICP says that I only want to target those companies which have at least 200 plus employee size. And boom, it will show me all those people. And then going a bit further, I don't know, for some reason it is causing an error, but let me just refresh page. Yeah, this is very common with the database tools. It just sometimes, creates issues. So yeah, as you can see, recent activity, it has already saved my search and it has only selected two filters. I'm going to add the other one, 201, 5, and 10,000. And then to go a bit further down, I want to make sure that all the contacts that I want to have, at least they have their mobile numbers and work email. Now, as you can see that it has generated a list of 407 companies. Now, the first challenge with Lusha that I always find is, or any database tool that I find is that it's the company size. So even though it says 500,000, 1 to 10,000 company size, the thing is that it is directly taking the company size from the LinkedIn company page. So to show you the example, if I open up the LinkedIn company page, uh, so as you can see, I'm at the DLL Piper and it says 5K to 10,000 day. 5,000 to 10,000, sorry for my English. But the challenge here is that this is not the right number because we just don't want to be dependent upon this number because it includes people, sometimes it includes people who might have forgotten to update their LinkedIn profile and all those stuff. What I do in this scenario is to ensure that I target the right employee size is that I go and I use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to find out the actual number of people that LinkedIn has identified in their Sales Navigator. So as you can see, even though this thing says 5,000 to 10,000, which is crazy, but in LinkedIn, they have actually identified 13 plus employees working with DLA Piper, which is good, which is awesome. And it has also identified 671 decision makers. Now, this is the actual company size that I record in my CRM because I want to make sure that I only record those companies where the employee size is more than 200 as per the Sales Navigator and not the LinkedIn page. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when it comes to filtration in the CRM or when it comes to filtration in any sort of sheet that you're maintaining for your sales purposes, you need to ensure that the company size is right and also the number of employees that you can find in that company. You don't care what actual the size of the company is. What you actually care is the number of people that Sales Navigator can identify. Now, a lot of people will ask me that, okay, I don't have Sales Navigator, then how I do that? Uh, then the best case scenario is just you go to the Lusha case and just click on DLA Piper and just find out that how many people it actually has, 8,000 employees which are present in there. So you can take this number. But for me, because Sales Navigator has slightly more advanced features, I always feel, so I use this as my benchmark number to add in the CRM. But in case I don't have the Sales Navigator, then I use the Lusha number that, okay, how many employees it exist. But I never take the number from this one because most of the time it is incorrect. Let's take another example. Let's take some another company. So let me go back to this result sheet, and let me take, for example, Bird and Bird. Okay. Sorry. So if I go to the LinkedIn page of Bird and Bird, as per LinkedIn, it has 1,000 to 5,000 employees between, and I go and check in Sales Navigator, it has 3,000 plus employees, right? So once again, a higher number than the range that it has. Uh, Okay, so this is one of the ways I sort of, ensure that the data accuracy is better. And now this is an activity that I have to do manually. So there's no turn around that thing. But for me, it is important that I do this activities, or else I will be feeding the wrong, let's say, leads to my SDR team, and which will lead to lower performance and not able to achieve the sales targets, right? So this is a very crucial step when it comes to finding the right accuracy or finding the right companies that meet your ICP. Now, once that is done, now the next step is that, okay, you add these companies, you download these companies and add them as a what do you call add them as a company name in this thing. So you can basically click on bulk search companies and put the all the URLs of those companies. For example, let me put in this case Bird and Birds company. So two birds, apparently that's the URL. So either I upload the CSV file or I just put the URL name and then I click on view results. Now it's going to show me only those people who actually work Bird and Bird company, and they actually have their company added as Bird and Bird on LinkedIn as well. So this is how these companies or these database tools identify the employees. They usually depend a lot on LinkedIn. So that's why I'm saying that, it is better to depend upon the Sales Navigator numbers versus, the LinkedIn page numbers, because they rely a lot on these data and everything, right? So as you can see, this is the number of employees it has identified, which is basically 748. Once again, which is not as much what we saw earlier. For some reason it showed 8,000 when we looked at the company thing, but now it is showing, sorry, not 8,000, but it was showing whatever it was showing. I forgot the number, but it is showing 748 contacts, which is good. Now another thing is that we need to ensure that we find the right job function people. So now there are two ways to do this. Either I do it using what do you call, where is it? Job title. So either I do it using job title. For example, in this particular firm, I want to go after IT managers, right? So I'm going to go IT manager, or I'm going to go information technology manager, or I'm just going to go IT executive and stuff like that, right? I ensure that I put both type of job titles, whether it is in the short form IT manager or information technology manager or information technology executive. In case I am not able to find a lot of, let's say, leads, for example, in this case, I only have 6 leads that it has identified. I just put the normal information technology as well, just to see if it changes the number. So as you can see, if I just put information technology instead of manager and executive, it also adds another around roughly, I think, 5 more contacts in here. Sorry, roughly 8 more contacts in here, right? So now I have more number and I can see that, okay, these are the people. Let me see if any one of them are relevant. And one by one, I see that, okay, most of them have mobile numbers because that's how I filtered. And boom, I have a list. And what I can do next is pretty much select all, show details, and put them into my CRM. So now I know this is a very basic tactic, but it helps to ensure that my SDR team or my business development team gets the right leads and the right companies so that they can get in touch with them, cold call them, and ensure that they book a meeting. If I don't provide a list which is not at least 80% accurate, then it is really hard to meet the targets. This is my personal experience. Some people might disagree, some people might agree. That's okay. But in my experience, at least 80% is a good number to have accuracy in terms of your uh, company list. You should always aim for 99%, but in case you can't, In case the data is too much, you can't filter all of them, try to aim for 80 and ensure that you feed them with the right contacts. And that's how you will be able to help them improve their performance. And in return, they will be able to book more meetings. And in return, the company will be able to get more sales. So I hope this little tactic helps you, because I know a lot of people use database tools like this, and one of the challenges that they face is the accuracy of the data. Sometimes the list they generate have a lot of irrelevant companies, but we got to do some manual work as well in order to ensure that the data is clean, the data is relevant, and so that we can feed the right contacts to the team. So yeah, let me know your suggestions if you use these database tools and how you ensure accuracy. We're happy to know about that as well.